Hello and welcome back to Get Up and Game. My name is Josh. This is going to be another one of my early morning quiet videos, similar to how I posted the Phoenix video on Easter morning. I'd like to sneak in some more gameplays lately. Maybe you've noticed I've been having a hard time getting videos uploaded recently. Just a various number of reasons making it difficult for me to find the time to record. So if I just get up really early and play quietly, at least I can get some games in that way. So last week on Chaps Chatting Champs, Brant issued a challenge of playing a core set hero against a modern villain. And so I'm going to be playing Iron Man for the first time in years against Mojo, because it just doesn't get any more modern than that. I'm going to be doing it on standard because Mojo is pretty hard on expert, so it's going to take it a little bit easier here. So we have to determine which of our two modular encounter sets we're going to be adding for the one-player Mojo. Just gets two modular encounter sets, so we're going to be doing 5, which is Western. Going to get added to the deck. And does the show card get separated or anything? No, I think it just all gets shuffled in. No, you do take it show out. Okay. There's that. So we're going to be starting with Western in the deck, and then the second one for the second half of the game is going to be Crime. Ugh. It's probably my least favorite of the Mojo mod sets. I love everything about Mojo, but Crime is the one set that I don't really love, but that's what we've got. So let me get this deck put together real quick, and then we'll jump into the game. Alright, got the deck pretty much shuffled up here. It's a very thin deck, just has the standard encounter set, the Western encounter set, and Mojo, of course, and Longshot. I put Longshot in there. And then for my Iron Man deck, I've got a pretty standard looking repurpose build. Seems to be all the rage for him these days. So I figure if I'm going to be playing Iron Man, I might as well try out the deck that seems to have everybody the most excited for him. I didn't go out of my way to include a bunch of energy resources for his attack cards, so those won't necessarily be potent. I just threw in a bunch of tech stuff and the repurpose and a few other cards I happen to really like. So we're just going to see how it goes. Now, quickly, if you haven't seen Mojo, his whole deal, his main scheme goes up to 25, which seems like a lot, but there's going to be a lot of effects that add a threat to it. And he likes to put threat on your characters, and when they flip or leave play, that threat ends up on the main scheme, so it can really pile up. We started with the Wild Wild Mojo environment in play, which is going to give every enemy attack overkill, and when a character takes damage, you increase that damage by 1. So I got to try to remember that over the course of the game. That's not going to be particularly favorable to me, I don't think. And we're just going to try to get a bunch of tech out quickly and hopefully do some repurposing. Oh, okay, I shuffled the heck out of the deck and got both my plasma pistols. I do want to see some tech early on, so I guess that's what a weird draw. Okay, I suppose I could play Iron Fist, or I could just dump all of this and try to get some tech out, because we don't want to be an alter ego for more than one turn against Mojo. He schemes pretty well. Yeah, I think I'm just going to dump everything except for one plasma. Yeah, I'd rather see more of the Iron Man suit parts. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, this is horrendous. Just a horrendous start. There's so much tech in here. None of Tony's did we see. 2 repurposes already, though those are better in the second deck pass anyway. We do get the Professor, so that's probably going to help. Okay, well, this is what we're working with. And again, if you watched my Phoenix play, I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to try to play under the camera. I just want to do this relatively quickly. Going to make these very early morning plays as casual and easy on myself as possible. Because like I said, I'm really struggling to find time to make videos, especially playthrough videos. These ones take the longest time to put together and to edit. So I apologize. I know people have been asking me about my multiverse videos. I really have been trying. It's just, yeah, life has been pretty crazy lately. So I'm going to do his Futurist ability. Look at the top 3 cards, add 1 to my hand. Really like to find, okay, we found the Arc Reactor. So we're going to keep that, and the others get discarded. Well, okay. So that happens, and now we are going to definitely play the Professor. So we'll use these 3 to get the Professor out. I'm just going to stun Mojo and remove some threat for us. That's going to be nice. Let me find a Confuse over here. And we're just going to have him thwart to remove some threat. And, but by doing that, I can't afford 2 of my techs. That's unfortunate. Well, we're definitely going to get the arc reactor out. So there's 1. Anyway, I'm going to hold on to the plasma pistol. No, I've got a deck full of tech that I surely will be drawing, right? There's pretty much nothing left in there but tech, I would think, at this point. So I guess that's all we're going to do. It's kind of a waste to have the Professor out and not block with him, but, you know, I don't want to have a hand size of 2. So we're just going to stay in Alter Ego. There's a Stark Tower. That'll be nice. Some boots. And only 1 more tech. What in the world? Okay, well, is what it is. And so now Mojo Mania goes up by 1. So it's up to 8 of 25. Thankfully, Mojo is confused. And he has his forced response to the triggers after your turn ends, but only if you're in hero form. So that's why I didn't have to worry about doing this just yet. And so he was confused. We're going to reveal our encounter card, which is Curtain Call. Move all threat from the character with the most threat on it to the main scheme. If no threat was moved this way, place 1 threat on each character you control. Okay, let me make sure nobody starts with any threat, I don't think. We just get all this stuff. Okay, yeah. So we're going to put 1 threat on each character, which would be Tony and Professor, and that's all that happens. Now Professor's going to leave place, so this threat is going to end up on the main scheme. And when Tony flips to hero form, which I'm probably going to have to do this turn, it's not looking like a good time to do it, but can't stay down forever. That threat is also going to end up on the main scheme. So let's use this futurist ability. Okay, we found the helmet. Yeah, okay. So that's good. So we can play the helmet and the boots, and we can also get the Stark Tower down, exhaust it to return the topmost tech in your discard pile to your hand. It's going to go ahead and do that while we're still in Alter Ego, which is going to be that plasma pistol. Just gets a card back. I don't know if we're going to be able to play it, but all right, we're going to have at least 3 techs, I think. So we're going to flip up. That ends up there. And so I definitely want the helmet and the boots. So we don't care about Repulsor Blast, and we don't care about Supersonic Punch. So just kind of getting all this stuff out. And yeah, we're left with 2 2s, unfortunately. I suppose, like, is there a way I could have done this better? No, I'm going to end up with a card either way. You always hate it when that happens. Well, yeah, I definitely want the boots. I want to get all of his sort of main pieces. That's going to give me an extra health, so I'm up to 10. So we have 3 techs out now. I guess I'll put these up here. And these are just going to end up, I mean, I'll probably hold on to the energy barrier. So then what we can do is a whole bunch of thwarting. We're going to thwart with Iron Man, ready him, and thwart again. So it's going to take 4 off of here. Let's just keep this nice and low while we get set up. And the boots just give us aerial. We don't care about that. And, well, I mean, we do actually, but both of these are. Was there a smarter way I could have done my, nope, I didn't have any mental, so it didn't end up mattering. Okay. So remove a threat from a scheme. So bring it down to 5, so that's pretty good. And we're gonna have a hand size of 4, not terrible. Now do I want to keep this? Yeah, I want to get these rolling. So we're gonna hold on to the energy barrier and draw 3 more cards, 1 for my normal hand size and then 1 for each tech. Okay, that's not bad. Now Mojo is going up to 6 of 25. Now he is attacking us, and we're just gonna take it, I think. Oh wait, before we have to remember this happens. I keep thinking this happens at the beginning of his turn. This happens at the end of your turn. So I have to discard the top 3 cards of this deck, and for each one that isn't a Mojo card, which there's 2 of them, I have to put a threat on me, and then that's going to end up on the main scheme eventually, probably. And that's he chews through his deck very quickly, and when his deck runs out, you shuffle the second encounter set into the deck, and if it runs out again, you lose. So you're very much on a timer against Mojo, which, I'll be honest, isn't one of my favorite mechanisms in games. I don't like being on a timer. I like taking my time, but it's okay that some work differently than others, and I just have to adjust. That's a me problem, not a Mojo problem. All right, now he's attacking me for 1. I'm just going to take it 2, 3. So we're down to 7. And our encounter card is a game of cards. Oh man, this is a terrible card for Tony to get. So we're going to draw 5 cards, and we have to discard 5, and depending on the resources, we're going to lose a bunch of stuff. This is really unfortunate. So we're going to draw 5 cards, and then we basically want to discard a whole bunch of the same resource if possible, so we lose as little stuff as we can, because for every different resource type we discard, we lose an upgrade or support. So I'm basically just going to try to find something I can discard a lot of. 1, 2, 3. Man, this is terrible for, like, if I discard all these energy cards, I could discard 5 energy cards, so I would only have to discard 1 thing, but then this is all my tech. Wait, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Yeah, so I could say discard all of these, and I only lose 1 card. But then this is what I'm left with, which is pretty much what I started with. I could still play the gauntlets and the boots. I guess that's not horrendous. Yeah, so we're going to discard these 5 cards. And they all have the energy resource. So I only lose 1 thing. I'm just going to lose Stark Tower. It's a really brutal card. It's a good chance it could eat 2 of your things at least, if not maybe more if you're very unlucky with your hand. So that was that. So we're just going to do the powered gauntlets and the rocket boots, just kind of going all in on tech. I don't know, that seems like the way to go with Tony. Just really want to make sure I can draw some darn cards into my hand, and we can get all this stuff back later, so that's fine. So now I can't get aerial, but I can, oh, this gives me another hit point. That's nice, up to 8. We can activate twice. Well, we're definitely going to remove a threat, might as well. And we're definitely going to do 2 damage, might as well. Mojo starts at 16, going down to 14. We've got the threat down to 5, that's very good. When a character takes damage, increase that damage by 1. So I would have taken 1 extra damage from that attack, and he would have taken 1 extra damage. Okay, maybe that will work in our favor when we got the gauntlets and stuff rolling. We'll be able to do a whole bunch of extra damage. Speaking of that, since we don't really care the threat's down, we're going to actually just attack for 1, but it's actually going to be 2. We're going to ready, and we're just going to do it again. Might as well just start putting some damage on him. You kind of have to rush Mojo. That doesn't give you a choice. And so might as well go for the damage. So we're going to ready up, and then at the end of my turn, we're going to discard 3 cards. There goes Long Shot, Mojo, and so 2 more cards that don't belong to Mojo. So that's 2 more threat going on Tony. But we are pretty well set up now. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 tech pieces, so we're drawing 6 cards for our hero hand, which is pretty cool. Got the armor. Okay, we're going to have Nick, Ironheart. Okay, I'm really not sure what direction we're going to go with this here. Would like to get the armor down because we're going to need the health. Can I play Nick in the armor maybe? If I do Nick and then use those cards to play the armor, might be the way to go. Let's see what Mojo does. So he gets 1. He is attacking. We're going to take it, but we're getting low. So it's for 1, 2, but we take an extra damage from this. So 3 down to 4. Not great. And then our encounter card is Paparazzi. It says hinder 10. Choose to either exhaust a character you control or discard a card from your hand, remove 2 threat from here, 3 for an alter ego, and then all the threat from here is going to end up on here at the end. So we want to try to get as much off of this as we can. Otherwise, we're going to be putting a big chunk on here. Now that's at 6 of 25. We can exhaust a character you control or discard a card. I don't really want to discard cards because I wanted to play 2 very expensive cards. Now, if I go to alter ego and do these things, I can remove some, though the tower's gone, so alter ego is a little less attractive, which isn't cool. We could play a force field generator and repurpose it. That doesn't seem worth it. Could play Pepper. It would be nice to get her out. If we played Pepper, that would just leave us 2 resources. See if we play Ironheart, that gets us a card back, which one then we have enough to play the armor. So many options. I just kind of like playing Nick. We're going to run out of our hand anyway. So, what are we going to do? We definitely want to play at least one ally just to take some off of here. Tony can take a couple off of here. I don't want to discard any cards, really. See, if I play the armor, I'm going to get 6 hit points back, so I don't necessarily need Nick to block. So what happens if I play Ironheart? Just a nice, cheap card. So we get a card back, and we play Pepper. Yeah. Nick doesn't seem functionally better than Ironheart in this situation, so I guess that's what we'll do. So we're going to play Ironheart. Just a character down. It's going to let me draw a card. Another energy barrier. Now I want to play... Oh, I wanted to play the armor, not Pepper. That's fine. Yeah. We're just going to use these 3 to get the armor down. It's going to be 6 more health. Whoop. Up to 10. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we've got 6 armor pieces out now. So we'll be drawing 7 cards in hero form, which is nice. Now, let's exhaust Iron Man and Ironheart. Take 4 off of this thing. Getting it down to 6. We can ready Iron Man and take 2 more off of here, which is basically the same as thwarting the main scheme since we're going to be putting all this threat on there anyway. And I think that's really all I can do as far as that goes. So let's use the helmet, take a threat off the main. We can use the gauntlets to hit Mojo for 2, but increased by 1, so 3. And I think that's everything. No reason to flip down. My hand size is actually bigger in hero form now, so that's pretty cool. We are going to have an extra encounter card. That's not pretty cool. So when does this end? When your turn ends. Okay, so this is all going to end up over here. I managed to get rid of 6 of it, and then that goes away. Now we have to do the Mojo thing. We got a Mojo card, and a non. Okay, so we put 1 threat on Tony. That's up to 5. And now don't think that if I just stay in hero form, I'm safe, because there are cards in here that could move this threat to there, so that could still end up happening. So I get 2, I'm going to draw 5 more, get an extra encounter. So we've got, is this the whole suit? No, there's one more gauntlet. We managed to get almost the whole suit built in the first deck pass. That was fun. You know, I've talked here and there about just never been a huge fan of Iron Man, but I've also said I don't really know why, because this is definitely a gameplay style that appeals to me. I like the idea of having a whole bunch of cool upgrades to activate every turn. And I do like risk-reward characters, which Tony kind of is, at least in solo, where you've got to get your cards out quickly and try to outpace the villain. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So I am definitely enjoying playing this way. Oh yeah, Ironheart. No, she didn't take a damage because of I just exhausted her for that other thing. Cool. So I almost don't want to block with her then, just because I want to get 1 use out of her. Anyway, but yeah, I was just saying, definitely enjoying playing Tony. This is going really well. I think it's hard to tell with Mojo, but I'm enjoying the gameplay. So he's attacking. He's only attacking for 1. I'm just gonna take it. We're at 10. 2, 3 plus 1 is 4. Oh yeah, he has overkill anyway, so there's no reason really to chump block. And we have 2 encounter cards. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Top billing, heal 1 damage from each character you control. Place 2 threat on each character you control. So he wants to keep us alive and on the show. But we are adding, was it 2 threat? So he gets 2, wait, this was a 1. This goes to a 3, what am I doing? and 2 goes on Ironheart. So there's already what is this, 7, 8, 9 potential threat heading to the main at some point. So I have to be very careful. And our other card is the Gunslinger. Comes in with Quick Strike, but when he engages you, you can spend 2 lightning resources. If you do, deal damage to this minion equal to your hero's attack. I absolutely love this mechanism. It's like a quick draw. It's super fun. Unfortunately, even if I do spend the 2 lightning resources, I'm only going to do 1 damage to him with my 1 attack. That would be increased to 2, but it still wouldn't be enough to kill him. So it's not really worth spending the resources, which I could do, but I don't think I will. So we're just going to end up taking 3 damage, 1 extra, thanks to us being in the Wild Wild West, the Wild Wild Mojo. So now let's figure out what we're gonna do. If we use Ironheart, she'll actually die because of consequential damage. She'll take an extra. So I'm not saying we won't use her, but if we do, we're only gonna get 1 use out of her. Could get the other gauntlet down, just be fun to have everything out. So if I do that, get the energy barrier out, and then, well, I almost want to hold on to the repurpose. I want to get the most uses out of them that I can. Or if I play Brother Voodoo, he would give me a card back that I likely wouldn't be able to play. Though if I play him first, at least I'll have the option to know what I'm doing. I think we're as set up as we need to be. We just need to start hitting Mojo quickly, which definitely want the gauntlet out. There's no reason. We want all the damage we can get. And if we go mental, that deals... Oh, I thought these did 2 damage. Shoot, shoot, shoot. They only do 1 damage, and then it's 2 if you have aerial. For some reason, I thought it was more than that. All right, then Mojo should have, I don't know, at least 4 more hit points. I was hitting him for 2 each time and then increasing it by 1, I think. So if I've done that about 3 times, I probably did 3 extra damage, 4 extra damage. I'm gonna give him 4 extra hit points. I think that's about where it would be. Sorry about that, Mojo. I didn't realize these only pinged for 1. I thought they pinged for 2. Okay. So that should be set. I could play War Machine. Everybody says he's so terrible, and yeah, definitely doesn't seem great. Okay. Kind of want the energy barrier. And then, oh, the energy barrier pings each do an additional damage too. That's pretty nice. So why don't we do that? Allies are a little bit less valuable in this setup just because of the overkill anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is just play the energy barrier, just to get that down, protect us a little bit. We are down to 4. It's not going well. And I'm going to hold on to the repurpose because I want to get at least some use out of the energy barrier. Or, well, let's see. So Mojo's at 10. I could use Brother Voodoo to go aerial. You have to exhaust. So I have aerial now. So that's nice. This still just removes 1 threat. Let's use a gauntlet. Now it deals 2 damage and an extra 1. So that'll be enough to take out the Gunslinger. Mojo is at 10. Hopefully that's correct, or at least close to correct. We're going to use the gauntlets. Now they do 2 damage, plus 1 is 3. Down to 7. I think we should probably, what is this, up to 9? See, we can thwart for 2. Well, let's do a little bit of thwarting. Down to 7. We're going to ready. And I kind of just want to keep hitting Mojo, though. Yeah, we'll do sort of a mix of thwarting and damage. Down to 5. And I'm going to hold on to this repurpose because I would like to get a lot of use. Maybe we can just have like one big crazy turn and win real fast. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold on to Ironheart for now. No reason to put that threat on the main scheme just yet. So readying everything up. Now we lose 3 cards. I don't know why they're flipped around upside down like that. Oh, okay, cool. So 2 more threat on Iron Man, but at least we lost both advances. That's nice. So there is now 9 potential threat on Iron Man I have to be very aware of. could go to 16, 17, 18 if certain cards came out. And then we draw back up to 7. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 2. Oh my goodness, we have 3 repurposes. So is it possible that we could just keep readying and building up our attack and attacking and doing a lot? I think so. I think so. This could be cool. This could be really cool. Maybe we're gonna see what repurpose can do here. So that's at 8. Mojo is attacking. I'm at 4. Oh boy, I did not think about that. We have an energy barrier which will prevent 1 of the damage. I'm tempted to throw Ironheart in front of it just to prevent another, because we might be able to kill him next turn. Okay, let's quickly figure out the math. I don't normally like figuring out the math ahead of time, but I probably should. So hypothetically, he's at 5. These could finish him off basically. So he'd go to his next form, which will have 18 hit points. So basically we could attack for 1, 2, repurpose, something. It's going to ready, and he's going to be attacking for, say we repurpose, well, we can't repurpose that, we'll die. Say we repurpose the gauntlets, so now he's attacking for 3, so I'll do 4 damage. And then we repurpose the arc reactor. Now he's attacking for 5, so that's going to do 6 damage, that's 10, and we repurpose something else he can attack for, yeah. So as long as we survive, we can win. So we're going to throw Ironheart in front of it, so that's 1 less damage, and then the energy barrier is going to help too. So he's attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 damage. Ironheart, oh wait, does she block any of it? Because it says when she takes damage, increase that damage by 1. And it has overkill. So he's attacking her for 4, but she's taking damage, so she's taking 5 damage. She swallows up 2 of it, so 3 goes to Iron Man. I think that's how that works. So she goes away. Iron Man takes 3 damage. We're going to reduce it to 2. We're going to ping 1 back at Mojo, but that's going to be 2. So down to 3. So now Iron Man's taking 2 damage, but it is increased by 1, so it's taken 3. Oh my gosh, I'm at 1. And we still have an encounter card. If he attacks us again, we're dead. Director's directions. When revealed, choose 1. Spend 2 different resources. He schemes, or we take 1 damage. Well, we take 1 damage for each threat on your identity, which would be 9. So we're definitely not doing that. Spend 2 different resources. Yeah, I don't think I need anything other than the repurposes. So we'll just spend 2 different resources. And then that is the end of that. So let's have some fun here. Mojo is at 3. We're going to spend a mental resource to go aerial. Now we can shoot him for 2 damage, but it's going to be +1, so it's 3, so he's down to 0. And we flip him to stage 2. Does anything happen? Place 2 threat on each friendly character. Sure. And then his end of turn thing gets a little bit worse. But I don't know if we're going to care about that because he goes to 18. Now, let's attack him with Iron Man. For 1, he's going to take an extra damage. 6. Let's play Repurpose. We're going to discard a tech upgrade, or discard this. It readies Iron Man, gives him +2 to his attack because of the cost. So now he's attacking for 3. So he's attacking for 3, but it's an extra damage. So 4 down to 12. We're going to shoot Mojo for 3 more total, down to 9. Then we're going to repurpose these gauntlets, giving Iron Man 2 more attacks. That's +4. And readies him, so now he's attacking for 5. Down to 4. And we can use the reactor to ready him, and he can attack again, bringing Mojo down to 0. And then if we wanted to, we could repurpose the reactor to ready and attack for 7. Well, there you go. That was pretty cool. Definitely a little bit quicker than I thought it would be. You know, Iron Man, it takes a minute to set up, and then it only takes a minute to win when you draw all 3 of your repurposes. That was a pretty cool thing to have happen. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining me. We didn't get to see too much of what Mojo does. Now, if this had gone a little bit longer, he would have emptied his deck out this turn, and then the next turn is brutal, because what happens is you basically flip the deck over, you change out the show environment, and then you end up putting a few of the cards on top. It's the start of step 3, kill the first player 2 random. Yeah, so you basically put all these cards on top, and then you get dealt extra ones. And so whatever the new show is, you see a lot of it up front, and it's really rough the turn that you let Mojo flip into his deck. And then if you survive that, after getting like 3 extra encounter cards, you lose if he ends up chewing through this whole deck. When there aren't any more modular encounter sets to shuffle in, you lose. So it makes him really, really hard on expert, because he starts out flipping 4 cards at the beginning instead of 3, and then he goes to 5. So definitely very, very challenging on expert, but pretty fun on standard, which is kind of my review of Mojo in general. Just all 3 scenarios are really, really fun, but relatively easy on standard, and then they really kick it up a notch in expert. There's quite a gulf between the standard and expert Mojo encounters. Anyway, that's just some weird random thoughts about Mojo at the end of the game. Really, really had a lot of fun playing Iron Man. He felt incredibly powerful. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was close. It was close. We were at 1, and, you know, if things had gone even remotely differently, we would have lost, and I did deal a little bit of extra damage to Mojo, but I think we can see that even if I didn't give him quite enough hit points back, we still would have won. I could have easily done 7 more damage. So that is that. And that was with a terrible, terrible opening hand. I think I only got 1 tech down on the first turn, and we had to flip up with a 4-hand size. So yeah, I think it's safe to say Iron Man is doing just fine these days. Very, very powerful. Repurpose is ridiculous, and that was a lot of fun. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm just gonna send this exactly as it is, and I'm gonna get working on the Valkyrie versus a Risky Business. I'm hoping to get this filmed today. I have some really exciting campaign elements to show you, or I should say Pain Josh does, that we're going to be implementing in his series. I'm really excited to finally get that started. So again, I'm really sorry it's taking so long to get that out. It's been a challenge to film videos. You know, I need a nice quiet environment, and there's just always so much happening. So I'm working on it. I'm still cracking at it. I'm still very, very excited about the multiverse. I hope the hype hasn't died down, because it's still going to be really cool. It just got a slow start. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you did enjoy this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more maybe very quietly spoken plays from the early morning of my household, and I look forward to seeing you next time we get up in game. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.